awesome. Couldn't have asked for any better of a weekend. Yeah, for sure. I'll come back next time, no doubt.
It's amazing to me the quality of people we have here, their willingness to slow down, drop what they're doing, get extremely focused, and actually get into what's going on. I've had a number of people come up to me already saying this is, in a short amount of time they've been here, they've already got takeaways that make the entire trip worth it. Which we just started, we're halfway through the first day. So to me, it's exciting to be here. It's exciting to have the quality of people that we have here with us, and I look forward to the next 2.5 days.
One of the big takeaways that has been consistent as a theme throughout all the speakers has been to push past your limiting beliefs, to go beyond your fear, go beyond the roadblocks that you put mentally in your mind. That's been a huge takeaway, is just take action and go for it.
It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your market. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter if everything sucked up until this point right now. If everything sucked, but right now is your turning point. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, male, female. We're all on the same playing field. We're all the same. The only difference between anybody on stage, it's not talent, because that guy's more talented. I would sit in a room just like this, and I look at the guy on stage and I go, he's got to be better than me. He's got to be smarter than me. He's got to have more talent than I do. He's got to have something that I don't have. What is that thing that, and I would say, I can't do it because I'm not like that. Here's the thing, the playing field is leveled. It doesn't matter. It's not talent. It's not ability. And that's male, black, white, male, or female. It doesn't matter. We're all the same. The only difference is two things. Experience. And the other thing is one of the most important that almost trumps experience. You know what it is? A tenacious hunger. If you have a tenacious hunger for anything that you want, you can accomplish anything. So I got a question for you. Who came here that you wanted to go out and learn how to make $100,000 a month? Raise your hand. Say yes. Yes. Okay, came here, you want to learn 100. You came here, you want to get more freedom. Say yes. Yes. You came here and you want to change your life. Say yes. Yes. Came here, you wanted to learn specific tactics to scale your business. Say yes. Yes. Who wanted to be empowered? Say yes. Yes. Okay. Well, what happens is you're gonna walk out of here, and what I found is people come to an event, there's ways to concrete this information into your heart and soul so you go out and apply it. Now, have you ever been to an event before where you go to an event, you learn this great information, and then you go home on Monday and you don't do a thing? Before I'm gonna take action, I put myself in beast mode. In beast mode, all things are possible. In beast mode, you condition yourself to take massive action. So when you're in beast mode, right, whatever you're gonna accomplish, and then you might be afraid, you might be nervous, you might don't know if you can do it, you might have self-doubt, you might go, I don't know, but if you go into beast mode, all things are possible. So, when you tackle objects and you tackle obstacles and you tackle, if you approach it in beast mode, you get results. There are people in this room right now that make $100,000 a month in this business. There's people that make 50 grand. People make more in a month than the average person makes in a year. Now, does that take energy? Can you be shy? Can you be an introvert making 300 grand a month? No. You got to go to beast mode, baby. You got to turn the switch. You got to have something flip in your head where it doesn't matter, anything happens, and you go and you're going to attack your obstacles. You're going to attack this business with everything you've got. You're in beast mode. Everybody know who Coach John Wooden is? One of the best, most successful college basketball coaches. He came into UCLA, and UCLA was doing absolutely terrible. And he came in and transformed that program to one of the winningest programs in college basketball. And how he did it was focusing on the fundamentals. So what does that mean? Focusing on the fundamentals. So he had these star athletes that were recruited all over the entire country, right? Came to UCLA, the best of the best. And he took these kids and he said, we are going to teach you how to do a free throw. And they threw free throws. And then they learned how to do corner shots. Then they learned how to do bounce passes. Then they learned how to do chest passes. They learned how to block. They sat and they learned and they drilled in the fundamentals. So we're gonna talk about those fundamentals. And the law of familiarity basically says, oh, I've seen that before. I know how to do that. I went through my entire business. As you become better, I went through my entire business and took each step of the business and micro-optimized each step. Each step, talking to sellers, how the lead comes in, the process of how to do it, the whole process. And we're gonna share that this weekend, exactly how that happens. You're gonna learn not only phase 1, how to get your first check. You're gonna learn phase 2, how to scale it from 2 to 4 deals. Phase 3, how to scale it from 4 to 6 deals. And phase 4, how to scale it all the way, 10, 15 deals, what it looks like. I'm gonna show you a lead flow map of what happens to a lead as it goes through. Now, how many people here have not got their first check? This weekend, it changes. This weekend, you're gonna make an internal decision and it's gonna happen and you will get your first check in 30 days or less. Aren't you? Aren't you? Because you're gonna go in beast mode, aren't you? And it's gonna happen. Because what happens is that first check changes everything. Changes everything. Now here's the deal. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter how good or bad your past was, what city you come from. Whatever happened in the past is temporary. It's gone. Right now is where everything happens. Right now, from this point forward. Right now. So it doesn't matter. If your life sucked before, guess what? Right now, it's gonna change. And not only are you gonna learn all the tactics, you're gonna learn the mindset and skills to make that choice. So who's with me? Say yes.
I came here really not knowing what I was going to get into besides just hearing great speakers, but one of the greatest things that I took away was that I was around other people who are doing the same thing that I'm doing and guys who are at a really high level. And being around them and seeing them do what I wanted to do made me really believe that going to that next level is really, really possible. So that's one of the greatest things that I learned, was that it's really possible to take my business to the next level. And if you're thinking about coming to Extreme Freedom next year, you definitely need to get here.
You guys ready to go in beast mode right here? We're gonna do a little beast mode exercise.
3, 2, 1, go for it. So what the guys are doing right now is I gave them a task to basically call our motivated sellers. So we pulled all the thousands of people out of our database. We literally gave everybody in the room our leads, and then now they are calling those leads using our seller script. Now, some of them I know are freaking out, and some of them are like diving right in. So we're gonna see exactly what happens here in a moment to see how successful they were, so stay tuned. was scared out of their mind. Why are you guys scared out of your mind? First time. But you did it though, right? You feel better?
It was really scary to start off with, but it was just a nice older gentleman. I just got into a conversation with him and it turned just fine.
Downsizing,
Yeah.
Motivation.
In their 70s. And,
Elderly, want to divest, that's a motivation.
not in a huge rush,
Mm-hmm.
but they're ready to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Perfect. Cool. Congratulations.
People find what they want when they get clarity on what it is they're looking for, and until they're crystal clear on it, they'll never see it even when it's right in front of them. So what's been so amazing to me is watching the aha moments, watching the light bulbs go off as one by one throughout the crowd, people get absolute clarity on what it is they're missing. And I like to see it as everybody started building a bridge in their life, right? Bridges from where they are now to exactly where they want to go. And because they never got clear on where they want to go, they couldn't quite finish the bridge. We all have these unfinished bridges. And that's the amazing thing about this event. Even though it's a real estate-based event, by allowing an environment, a fertile soil, if you would, to establish the clarity on where your bridge is going, we've been able to fill in the missing pieces to complete people's bridges. And that becomes the aha moments. I had people come up to me that then, we've been to 5 different events just like this, or so we thought. We weren't even gonna come to this, but a friend egged me on, or a coworker pushed me here, whatever it may be, came in with a lot of doubts. But to our surprise and amazement and complete ecstatic satisfaction, this was the one thing we're missing. One thing I know for all of us who are viewing this right now, everything we want, everything we could possibly desire is already right out there for us. The universe is throwing it at us. It's almost like all the different radio stations are out there, and we're in control of the stereo. And all we have to do is dial in to the right station to receive exactly what we want. And if you ask me what the difference between like an Extreme Freedom event and all the other events is, that's it. We dial in your station for you.
Whenever you get an answer on the purchase price, be reluctant to it, okay? Clinch or do something like that, hesitate, pause, or do something like that, and then going to explaining the condition of the market and how your offer is reached. This is something that I really like, and I find, it helps me find those deeper pocket deals. The way you set it up, of course, you present your lower range comps, you pull out 3 or 4 comps that you pulled on the lower end of the range. And then you have to get them to agree to a market price. That is key. Before you even start giving out your offer, you both have to be on the same page as to how much the property could be worth. And that's where the ninja tools come in. So you show them your numbers, right? If there's one thing that you can take away from this presentation right here, let it be that. This strategy alone has doubled the amount of the spreads more times than I can count. It's super simple, and it's very, very effective, okay? On this, you have to think from the end buyer's perspective. You have to think about the guy that's gonna be buying the property from you, all right? So say that I gave him my comps, and the lower range comps were around the 210. We looked around, I'm talking to that seller, and we looked around, and they said, well, there's a property there that sold for 250, another one sold for 230, and then, this one sold for, 225, or I don't know, somewhere in there. We get him to agree. Okay, well, your property's not in that good of a shape and whatnot. This particular case, we ended up agreeing that the property is worth $225. Okay, so that alone in itself gave me a spread. Why? Because I have the comps to prove it. I had lower end comps. I could justify a sales price of $210,000 based on the price per square footage and the other properties that I've sold within the neighborhood. So that wasn't that far off to take. All right, and then they want to figure out how the offer is made. They want to know why you're offering that number and what you're going to do with the money. Why? I don't know. Some people just like to find out. They just want to know that they're being offered a deal that makes sense. As long as you can make it make sense, you're going to be okay. In this case, what I tell them, and this is actually a screenshot of my iPad. So I have this thing on my iPad. I'll tell them, well, there's certain stuff that we have to, account for when we sell the property. And I'm thinking as the end buyer here, the end buyer is going to have to assume that the responsibility of that cost. All right. So there's still 6% sales fees, and they understand that for every sale there's sales fees. They haven't gone to a realtor and they called you for a reason. They know that it's going to be a pain to move the property, and there's going to be fees involved, and they're going to drop down on price and all that stuff. So they understand that much. That's no secret. Okay. They also understand that we're out to make a return on investment. So I tell them, all right, sales cost is about 6%, holding costs normally about 4% because, from the point of acquisition, which is now to the point where we actually sell it to a family that's going to live in it, it's going to be, a period of maybe 4 months. So we have to account for that stuff on holding costs. And then we do a market risk margin, 2%. Market risk is, it's the variables in the market, right? It may go sell, 2% higher or 2% lower. But we're budgeting $4,500 for that. And then our return on investment, it's about 8%. When you work out all the math, you end up with an offer of about $180 that's justifiable. Why? Because your purchase price or the agreed sales price was $225. All right, so now you have a justifiable offer price and you haven't even worked in your renovation budget. So you have the offer, you tell them, well, $22.5, and then you drop the $157 on them because they didn't give you an asking price. They didn't have an asking price at the beginning. Drop the offer quick and be quiet. This is just sales 101. Well, we can give you about $157, maybe $160 if I can get an approval. And then you stay quiet. You don't say a word. Nothing. Don't speak. Just look at them deeply in the eyes and see what happens. Basically, the first one that speaks loses. If it's somebody who's highly supportive, they're going to look at you. They're going to get really nervous. If it's somebody who's a driver, they're gonna, come right back at you with something. So point being is gonna be, pick your battles, right? So now we know that at 183, I'm getting on this particular property, I was getting $15,000 spread already. All right. My pitch without the repairs was at 180. I told them 157 on my offer. And they started rebutting with the repair cost. Well, you know what? I really don't think they're going to spend $22,000 on that repair. I already built my profit. I already have my $15,000, spread in there. I'm well below it. Do I really want to pick that fight with them? So do you really want to pick that battle? You don't. Why? Because you're going to lose whatever rapport you built in the first half of the appointment. Okay, you already built your spread. Even if it's $15,000, all right, fine. You know what? Yeah, we might be able to wiggle a little bit on that. So you take the $15,000 repair that the seller suggested, based off of your list, but you still have a budget there, all right? If that doesn't work, you have to find ways to brace your offer, okay? You have to rationalize your offer. Go back to the market activity, days on market, sold properties, for sales, pendings. Again, pitch the value of the offer and do any incentives. Are you doing, 15-day post-possession? So you recap everything that you talked about before you threw the number out there. Make sure you stick to your range. You're an investor. When you're negotiating, things can get heated. So stick to your range. You know that you can't go beyond 183 and still get the 15K and that sort of stuff. So follow up with them until, they tell you to buzz off or sell the property, one of the two. Sometimes you just got to ask, 2 or 100 times. So make sure you stay on your follow-up. Wishing you the utmost success. Thank you very much. I'm Rafael Cortez. I hope you guys liked it.
Is everything good? Did you guys learn a lot? All right, does anybody have any questions?
Sean, I had a question. It's something that Rafael said earlier about showing your numbers. We actually did a deal last week and closed the deal by showing our numbers. But for me, I think there's a risk in that sometimes. How do you deal with the person that looks at the number, looks at what you're making on the back end, and sometimes has that visceral reaction that people get when they see what you're making? I saw the numbers there were 5% that you're looking to make back, and I imagine it's probably dialed back some that's not really the number you're going for. Mm-hmm. Are you kind of playing with the numbers a little bit there when you show it to them? Or?
You're playing with the numbers a little bit. You can, obviously repair numbers are going to be 100% accurate. That could be a larger number, right? And there just to make sure you have some padding in there when you're negotiating. But if you have to negotiate out, would you feel better if we made 1% on this, Mr. Seller? I would use that. If you feel that and you sense that, then address it right there and negotiate it out. Just say, that market risk number, you know what? I like this house, it has potential. Let's get rid of it. And be done with it. Sean Terry here, and today rocked. If you weren't here, you missed it. You guys Instagram, you guys missed it. We have a ton of stuff we covered today. People were freaking out. And tomorrow is gonna be 10 times better. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about cash buyers, and you do not wanna miss it. See you guys, see you then.